Oh, did you see the facts about twins? Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're the lucky
cute.
one.
Really
I tried to
cute.
get twins. I marked the calendars. I gave her yam. I did everything.
Did you really say you gave her a yam?
Isn't yam supposed to be responsible?
Well, I don't know if that's a myth or not, but they do say it has some.
There's a village in Ekiti where yam is a very big produce,
Yeah.
and that state, that village is actually the #1 when it comes to
Twins, worldwide. Yeah.
Twins, people giving birth to
I
twins.
don't know how that
Emma,
happens.
did you want to have twins?
Yes, I wanted to have
Everybody
twins.
did.
Really?
Yes, because I just wanted to push them out once and for all.
And that's it.
And that's it.
But the cost of diapers
It's
after
always
that.
been... So, you know, I have been getting calls recently, and people are saying, how old is Aliana again? I'm
She needs a brother or a sister.
Oh, wow.
Don't you think she needs a company? I'm like, she already has company.
Oh, wow.
They're like, but you... Just one more. I'm like,
Do you remember when we opened the show and we said it's not their business?
Yes, exactly. It's not your business, people.
It's not.
So my own way of saying it's not your business is that smirk on my face. So when you say it, you know.
Yeah.
The quintessential smirk. In any case, guys, let's talk about what is we had in mind to talk about today. So recently, a lot of people have been getting calls from suspected, what do you call them, scammers. And it's become a very, very rampant thing. People complain about their accounts being hacked, and it's very easy, or the means by which this is done is by very simple means. However, I've got one big question, and which I'm going to end my argument with, and it's asking how much are the banks doing to try and help us with this situation? Because in the first place, you're a custodian, you're holding our monies, and then even if we're vulnerable or gullible, you still have an obligation to us. But this is a very interesting thing. Olamide, whose birthday was yesterday, has been getting calls up until 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Now, these calls are saying to him, hey, congratulations, man. I'm like, somebody asked me to give you to send you money. What's your account number? Congratulations.
Wow.
So they have specific dates that they target, or people that perhaps maybe, if you ask me, use Facebook to target people's birthdays. If they can get your number, especially if it's on social media, they're going to give you a call. And from what I hear, once they have your number, and your date of birth, or your account, and your date of birth, because that can be used to.
That's it.
That's it. They hack your account. I don't know what the banks are doing. Recently, they're putting out some subtle, warnings or alerts to be careful. But is it enough at the end of the day?
Yeah. So there are alerts, SMSs, emails. But how many people really open their banking emails unless they're expecting a specific alert? Most banking emails, you don't open it unless they say credit or CR there. So in the end, I think there has to be a lot more done. Maybe, I think some people are using ATM machines as well, so beware of, as soon as you want to take money out, POS machines as well. But I think it's more about the media sensitizing people, because I think banks can't afford to pay media.
They can't afford to pay media.
So yes, they should pay. We should be getting paid for this public service announcement. Because we're helping their business.
With getting paid for public service announcement. But really, no problem at all. But you see what? Nigerians, we are greedy people.
Greed.
Yes. And that is the most accessible to which people can get across to you. Because some unknown person just sends you a number, sends you a message, send me account number. You say, money, you send it, and you send it, and then they scam you, and then they see a crime file. So you talked about what the banking system is doing. Unfortunately,
what they're not doing enough. However.
Unfortunately, based on research and investigations, they have even found out that this electronic fraud, because it's also a means of, or a type of electronic fraud, happens between the bank staff and ordinary Nigerians. Nigerians and the bank staff.
So you're saying that there's some kind of conspiracy.
This cannot be happening without the bank people themselves being involved in it.
Or at least...
So they are a part of it. So, like I said, that investigation needs to span through,
I would suggest maybe disgruntled former staff that have access. No, I'm not going to come out and say
of people who actually still work in the bank and are involved in these kind of things. Yeah, they have been. However, there is also the argument that certain digital information, have found their way into the hands of people who are deft at using what's it called, digital means to, you know, hacking, actual hackers now. Once they get these information, they have all of your dossier and everything, your date of birth, your BVN and all of that. And these kinds of leaks don't happen at, maybe not, random, the bank level. They happen at a higher level. Some people have even allegedly implicated the CBN system as well.
Yes, the cashless policy.
Exactly.
Which, of course, the main purpose for the cashless policy was actually to, you know, try to reduce the, you know, cash crimes.
While this has spilled over like a vat of milk, what are the banks doing to try and mop it up, especially around them? I'm asking, I mean, first, banking is something very delicate, and if you are not doing that, you know, for your customers, then you owe us something. And you'd be a very.
If you even ask me, I also feel that.
You want to say? You want to do it?
Even banks also have a way of exploiting us. To be honest.
Wow.
Yes.
You want to go there?
Yes, we are going there. We are talking about fraud. We're talking about scamming. 15 naira charge. Even when I did not ask for ATM card, we are withdrawing every month. It is better if you tell me that, okay, madam, you're opening this account.
Every month, take 2,000
every month, this so much will be taken. So that I have an idea that, okay, 2,000 naira, I'm going to leave it for the banking people so that when they are busy deducting all the monies from it, I am not wary. Because then you have people who do not even have so much, who are still struggling, and they are depending on that last 2,000 naira, and before you can say Jack Robinson, it's gone.
I can remember there were some bank accounts that used to exist. I don't think they exist anymore. That you had to have at least a minimum balance of about 10,000.
It doesn't exist anymore, which is even way better. So tell me that I need to have that minimum down for you to just be deducting my money anyhow.
The thing, ladies, is this, that while we want to implicate, or sort of, in quote now, implicate the banking system and all of that, then we do owe ourselves an obligation as well. Nigerians, our greed, like you said, and the next one is our gullibility is so far-reaching. It's amazing. I mean, somebody you don't know calls you up and then asks you for details, and you're willingly giving it to them. Or they tell you that if you put this, you're going to get that. I'm a banking officer. You have to put some accounts in your money. What is it? I've seen relatives and people close to me actually fall for this. So it's not like as if it's tied to being unaware or uneducated. People who are even educated are still falling prey to
it. You know, it's funny because myself and someone had a conversation about this. He's in the fintech industry, and then we're talking about how much awareness needs to be done, especially not just in the urban areas, but also in the rural areas. Everybody needs that piece of information that, you know, helps them to avoid some of these things. So. We have a role. The media has a role. The banking system also has a role to play.
We ourselves, you know, also need to protect ourselves. Now, I've seen too many times people giving their ATM pin to people. Take my card, go to the ATM and bring money out for me.
Yeah, I do that.
Mazino, look, giving your pin out is just as bad.
Well, I can't walk
Look.
there.
If it means you transfer to someone,
let me defend myself,
and they use their own card, it's better. Don't give your ATM card details to anyone. Even giving the actual card, it has a number on it. Someone could save that number.
The card I'm giving you only has 3,000 naira in it. They can never be more than 5,000 naira in it.
Don't be doing it. Don't be doing it. Don't be doing it. Because with that, at the machine, they can actually check your BVN.
Sure.
They can check your BVN with your card. They can take the card number and the three numbers at the back, the CVC, whatever number.
That's why I only trust BigBrotherNaija.
Oh, wow. Stop it. Just stop it. Even your spouse. Yes, I will go there. Should not have your ATM pin.
I know, I think Titi, that's now like pushing it.
Yes, I'm going to say it.
Yeah, but then at this point, I think we also need to, this is the point where we let you guys in on this conversation. Have you ever been scammed before? Or have you,
what was the mechanism?
Yeah, what was the mechanism used? Let us know on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. Please do not be ashamed to share your stories.
Yeah, no matter how gullible you were.
Exactly.
We'll be back. Please stay tuned.
Hello and welcome back. Now, we've been talking a bit about the whole fintech world, and Thursday is that day where we actually get to talk tech as well. But we have an expert that comes into the building to help give us some advice. Now, this is a lovely lady who has been in this particular field for quite a bit, and it's always great to have her on set. It's time for tech, people. We have someone who has extra superpowers in branding. Her name is Ayodotun Akinfenwa. She's a professional with core skills in strategic marketing with over 14 years of experience, and it's great to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. So when it comes to tech, a lot of people feel lost about it, especially with regards to finding themselves, giving themselves a brand. Yeah. Well, where do they start from?
Well, you start from understanding what you have to offer. If you think about all the great names, people that build their brands online, you find that if they have something special, maybe a skill, something quirky about them, you know, and they discover those things and then found a way to package, present it in the online space, in the digital space.
Okay, so maybe let's take an example. Maybe someone who is into furniture, something like that, furniture or interior decor. Yeah. And there's a lot to show when it comes to interior decor, pictures of stuff. Yes. But then what can they do to make sure they differentiate themselves from other markets?
Well, back to the first thing I said about finding what's special about you, because for every space, there are a lot of people doing the same thing. So you find what's special about you and find a way to project that. And then it's one thing to find what's special about you, but you need to embrace the platforms. Yeah. There are various platforms. Low-hanging fruit, a lot of people focus on social media. Yeah. But beyond social media, there are so many things. There are online events. There are mini-series, talking about the furniture person as well. They can collaborate. There's a lot you can do on websites, those events, webinar sessions. There's so many ways you can showcase your work. You can plug into things that are happening online. Yeah,
so when a client comes to you or comes for a meeting with you, how do you give them, what do you give them as a step-by-step guide?
Okay, so we have a system. We have a strategic process that we take them through to figure out what makes them stand out. Otherwise, they're going to plug in and be very generic. Okay. So one thing we say, you know, in my business is that we take brands from generic to magnetic. So you have to figure out what's magnetic about you. Look at the examples. There's some people, personal brands, for instance. So there's some guys. There's this guy who I think is from Senegal, Kabi Lami, I think. He has 90 million TikTok followers. 90? He found out that he has a funny face. Yes. he has for 6 Instagram followers. He used to live in Senegal. He's moved to Italy. He became a sensation by just looking at his quirky face. He doesn't see anything. Just does funny things he has found out that, look, I have a funny face and I'm funny. So and I'm creative enough to think of other things that people are not thinking of. Yeah. Simple things, you know, find ways to make you know, look interesting and funny and finding the humor in it. So someone like Majimbo. Majimbo is a Kenyan sensation, and we have lots of Nigerian faves who people can sing, people can dance, people who have comedy in them, people can act. You know, there are so many things. So you figure out your process and then look for the best way to present it and package it to your audience, to the publics.
So I know that when it comes to apps and applications, people find them a little technical, but I know things are getting better. There's some very easy to use. What do they call them now? Online platforms.
Yes.
So, for instance, there's like Canva. I know that you're very versed in that particular space.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about how that helps the average business person.
Fantastic. There's so many things. Canva is always evolving. So they've got ways you can design Instagram posts, LinkedIn banners. You can create videos that you can plug on your different platforms for your YouTube. They've got even up to things like invoices.
Wow, invoice
presentations, documents, things that you can plug on different platforms, whether offline platforms or online. So Canva is an incredible platform, and it keeps evolving. It keeps evolving. So it's great for business people, it's great for influencers, it's great for individuals, it's great for families. It's great for even enterprises, bigger enterprises as well. It's a fantastic one, and
if you're covering all those particular areas on one particular platform, it feels like you know we've been given all the tools to make things a lot easier for our business. So why is it that you think people are not keying into all these opportunities?
I think that their eyes are not open yet. I mean, my eyes opened, you know, and as my eyes open, I've seen more opportunities that I've been able to leverage to build my personal brand and to build my business brand. So once people's eyes are open, which, I mean, is getting better for a lot of people, once their eyes are open, they would, and then they should also embrace learning. There are a lot of free tools, there are a lot of paid courses for people like that, people like us created, you know, for stuff like that. So, so just open your eyes to the opportunities. The world around is evolving.
I like that mention of courses. And I got excited because they say those who don't do, they teach. So
some of us do and teach.
Yeah, some of them, yeah. Well,
yes.
But the thing is, you didn't have to build a whole corporate organization, right, to get your business off the ground, you know. And things have really changed. You don't have to have a huge office. All you have to have is basically your device.
Many people,
and get that done. But then there are some professionals in that particular field, in design, branding. Do you still advise that people get help from those professionals? Or do you think they should go it alone?
No. I think that at some point, you evolve.
Okay.
You evolve. A lot of people start with bootstrapping, no budget, and trying to figure things out. So platforms like Canva and a lot of other apps help. But after a while, you want to evolve. You want to take yourself away from doing the design, everything yourself. You want to think strategic things. You need professionals to work like us to help you. Your business evolves. So you start small, and then you build from there. So there's a way to start small.
It feels a little intimidating what's been happening online. Because you see some people's pages, they've got a particular color. Every single post has a particular font. Everybody has some kind of funny quote or something like that. Are you trying to say that some people are doing this on their own, back to back?
Yeah, they're doing it on their own. But guess what? They got a lot of help. They are learning. They're constantly teaching themselves. I have a lot of friends, contacts, associates in this space. Self-taught. Some took courses. Even I, as a professional in this space, I take courses to get help. Learn from people, take courses, take on, attend sessions. But a lot of people are doing it on their own, believe me, a lot.
All right. So what, the next course that I think I'm going to be taking is in this digital space, especially with, I don't want to call it moving pictures. How to make my pictures move and look a little bit more
animating
lively.
your videos and pictures. Yes, animations,
yes. I'm going to be looking for it. Do they have that on Canva? They do?
Yes, Canva has that feature.
Amazing.
Yes. I was just taking a workship yesterday on that,
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah.
All right, I'm going to be asking a bit more about that as well. So what is it that you would like to do, adjust when it comes to your branding and your business? In the tech world, there are loads of tools that you can use, and experts like Ayodotun can help. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So is standing by. It's all yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Titi. Yes, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Ken. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. It's so nice of you to grace us with your presence this morning once again.
Thank you. I feel honored.
We love having you. Somebody please tell her that we love having her. Anyways, this morning on the show, she's making rice and garden egg sauce. I love garden egg sauce. Yeah. I really do. Now let's talk about the ingredients for our garden egg sauce.
Okay, for the garden egg sauce, we are going to be using obviously garden egg. We have some shrimps, smoked chicken and mackerel. I have tomato, onion, crayfish, and scent leaf.
And then of course we have our
rice.
Our rice, yes. Talking, the ingredients are on your screen right there, just in case you missed out on it. Grab your pen and your paper and scribble them down now. If it's something that you'd like to try out, today or over the weekend, please send in those pictures and videos. We can't wait to see them. Okay, so garden eggs. What are we doing with the garden eggs, first of all?
We are going to boil this.
Okay.
Then we remove the skin and cut them into cubes.
Okay. And then when that is done, what? Oh, you're removing the skin?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remove the skin.
I just remove the skin.
Why do you remove the skin?
It's going to have a velvety texture by the time I'm done.
Velvety. You hear that? You can only hear words like that here on Wake Up Nigeria, guys. Whether you like it or not, I don't care. Anyways, go ahead, please.
Okay.
And so once our garden eggs are ready, we're going to peel off the skin, and then what do we do next?
We'll cut them into cubes. Then this base, that's the sauce.
Okay.
We'll have all of this protein in there to give it flavor. This is like a marriage of amazing flavors. From the mackerel to the shrimps and the smoked chicken. Amazing. Trust me.
Oh my word. Everybody knows that when it comes to food, I am unapologetically shameless. So please go ahead and say to yourself, God, likes food. Yes, I like food. Anyways, we are going to wait for our garden eggs to cook up, and then we are going to chop them into pieces. Are we blending it? Or
no, we are not.
Mashing?
We're just going to cut it into cubes.
Oh, Wait a minute, we're not mashing, we're not blending, we're not squeezing, nothing. Just, oh wow, this is a different kind of garden eggs.
A really different one. You would love this.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So let's put water in our pan quickly. And so for our tomatoes and pepper, we're going to blend them?
I'm going to cut that as well. I'll just cut them into cubes as well.
Okay.
I really like to chop. You can blend to make it easy for you, but I really like to chop my vegetables.
Okay. Okay, and well, I can't wait for this breakfast to be ready, guys, to be honest. And let's not also forget that garden egg has a lot of amazing benefits. Yes, it does. So it's good for pregnant women. Yes, it's really good for pregnant women. Yes, and it also helps to improve your vision. It also helps if you are working on weight loss. If you are on a weight loss journey, garden eggs are for you. So please, and then the amazing thing about garden eggs are, you know, how versatile they are. They are very versatile. You can eat them. You can have them with peanut butter. Yay! I love them with peanut butter. I love garden eggs with peanut butter. You should try them.
It has lots of fiber, so
it also aids digestion. It's good for your digestion. So if you are constipated, go and buy garden eggs, and luckily they're very affordable, and they're everywhere now in the markets, because I see them everywhere. Right.
Like I always say, you don't really have to have shrimps and all of this before you make your garden egg sauce. I'm just making it this way just so you know that you can do it with or without. So you can actually make garden egg sauce even on a budget.
Right.
Yes, you can.
With you could use kpala, right?
Yes.
Or you can use
you can use just the smoked fish. You can use just the kpala. You can use anything.
Right.
Just anything you can afford.
All right, breakfast is getting ready here in the kitchen. I can't wait. Chef Kenny's at work. I'm not joining her, by the way. She's doing all this by herself. I'm not Mazinu. Anyways, we'll be right back, people. Stay with us. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit.
That was interesting to see. A little one there for you. Now, hey, we have been joined by one of the people in that little skit that you just seen there, one of Nigeria's finest stand-up comedians. Deacon Kamor is in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he's also a presenter and an actor. Now, we're about to find out more about his journey into comedy, into the comedy industry. You are welcome, Deacon.
Thank you.
Good skit there, very interesting. Now, I would like to see you or call you, just like what we spoke about before we got here.
Yeah.
A comedian without boundary, which is kind of like what you explained to me your kind of comedy is. Yeah. But first up, let's talk about your comedy. How would you explain, or what would you say your kind of comedy is?
Okay, my kind of comedy, comedy is no longer one man just the waka, you just for this and that. So comedy is saying anything in a funny way. You know, whatever you take serious, I can actually bring the humor out of it. That's why I'm a comedian. That's why I'm spontaneous. Yeah. So
that's why it's not easy for everybody to do what you do.
Yeah, to do what I do, and especially in this country, if anybody makes anybody laugh in this country, you just have to give it to the person. Yeah. You know, so I think my kind of comedy is based on what I see every day. Then 80% of it, my family. Because I'm a family man. Okay. I spend most of my time with my family. Okay. If I'm not working, if I'm not in church, if I'm not in a meeting, I'm at home with my family. So that's
where you get your source, your resource from.
Yes, yes.
It's very interesting. Okay, so stand-up comedy and all, if you ask me, I'd say that sometimes it's likely that stand-up comedians are more invested into certain locations, into specific locations. Like there is the Port Harcourt comedian, there's the Lagos comedian, there's the Warri comedian. Yes. And sometimes when you take them out of these vicinities, they're like, the audience are not, they don't relate to the audience. I don't know if I'm correct. Am I wrong? Is this something that you see yourself?
You are not totally correct, and also you are not totally wrong. Comedy has actually made so many, like the hardship in this country has actually made so many people discover their talents. So some people can just decide to go into being an MC. An MC is different from a comedian.
Tell them, please, I beg.
Yeah. You can be an MC and not be a comedian. Yeah. You can be a comedian and not be an MC. Some people are just good with cracking the joke or jokes, and they cannot, you know, relate with the audience or follow programs. Yeah. Why some people are just good with following the programs and they cannot. So as a comedian, know your strengths. Don't cross boundaries. Know what you can do. In case you are given an opportunity to do this, give it to someone that can do it. And that's why people like IQ Sagidowa, one of the best MCs out of Africa. Ebuka, one of the best. Ebuka cannot hold the mic and crack jokes.
Yeah.
You understand? I personally feel IQ Sagidowa was a wonderful MC before, but he decided to go into comedy gradually, and now he does comedy night. So it's something you can actually know your know your strengths.
Slow process.
Yes, and when comedians outside Lagos, like I was saying, the hardship in Lagos or in Nigeria has made people discover their strengths. So when you are known in a certain location very, very well, it's hard for you to go because where you are going to, millions of you are there
already.
So you cannot now start, you rather be a king in your village than to come to Lagos and be a rat.
Do you advise that young comedians outside of Lagos actually attempt to come to Lagos and try comedy? What do you think?
I would say they should just be on social media.
Be on social media?
Just be on social media.
Social media has kind of like taken down those barriers, actually.
Yes,
social
of course,
media
because
has also made comedy morph into different little iterations.
You can be in your village, drop something on social media, someone in the UK is appreciating it.
Yeah.
And someone is watching. Before you know what, someone wants you in UK. Even if you have not even been to Lagos before. So just be on social media. Leave Lagos, leave Abuja, just be on social media. And the moment you post good stuff, people are bored. Lagos, Nigeria, we are all bored in this country. So, and we spend more time on social media than the TV these days. Or
I agree with you, but then again, has social media in any way affected your pocket and the pocket of the general stand-up comedian? Because now, since it's so accessible, people don't need to leave their houses, and of course, with the global pandemic and everything. But as a stand-up comedian, is it to your advantage now, social media? I'm sure it's a good thing and it's helped you, but my bottom question is the bottom dollar. How has it affected that for most comedians?
Well, I think it has. If you look at the likes of, some of all these skit makers and just look back to their first 10 skits, it wasn't really like this. Like I said, social media has turned the world to a village. You know, companies, everyone is on social media. And the more you get followers, the more your strength on social media is increasing. People now trust you to work for them, do something for them. And that's where the business comes in. So if I'm standing or if I'm doing something for you, you have to pay.
Yeah.
If I'm representing your brand, you have to pay for it. So it has actually affected, and me being a comedian and also an MC, I drop my stuff on social media.
Okay.
Gonna those days.
You use social media?
Yes, of course, I do.
You have to now.
Yes.
You have to evolve
Of
yourself.
course.
Otherwise,
you know, gonna those days when someone will call you, we yes say you be MC. Yes, I am. And the person will be like, crack joke for me, Nana. No. I see. I am so thankful that days or those
just
days.
Go to my social media handle.
So a man invited me to his office. He said, we here say you be MC. This job now, like 10 people, now they here. So now I won't go collect this job. So what you will do now? Yeah. Which of the staffs are free there? No, leave your work, leave your work. You know when someone tells you, oh yeah, crack joke for us, no laugh. Now there is a high tendency that they will not laugh, no matter how funny that joke will be. So gonna those days now, when anyone calls you, okay, we heard you're an MC, or we saw you in one event, blah 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 blah. So can we have your social media handle?
Yeah,
they are the one that always
CV.
ask for it. And when they go to your social media, they see how rich, how healthy it is. Now, whatever price you tell them. That's it. So it has actually helped.
Well, hey, Deacon, it's been fantastic having you here, man. Thank you very much. We've been displaying his social media handle on the bottom third of our screen. So if you want to go and see exactly what his comedy is like, do feel free. And then you know how to hire him. And then any money that he asks you to pay, you pay.
I have to.
Welcome back, people. Interesting skits there. All right, people, welcome to the kitchen. This is Chef Ken, and this morning we are making rice and garden egg sauce. Yeah, let's run through the ingredients, Chef Ken.
For the garden egg sauce, we need our garden egg, tomato, pepper, onion. We need shrimps.
Let's pull that in a bit.
Go ahead. Shrimps, smoked chicken, mackerel, crayfish, and scent leaf.
And I see rice is over there.
Yes.
Cooking.
And I'm trying to boil the garden egg sauce just a little bit so I can get the skin off and chop it into cubes.
Okay. And so explain the process for this recipe just so that we let people, you know.
Okay. To make this garden egg sauce, after parboiling this, because it's really not going to get all soft, I would remove the skin, cut it into cubes, just the way I have this tomatoes and pepper.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll start off with my oil, a little bit of oil. Then I had my onion, saute it for, say, 1 minute.
Okay.
Then I had these chopped peppers. I season. Then add my my proteins. Then I season that, allow that cook for a bit before adding my chopped garden egg.
So the garden egg goes in last. Yeah. And then how long do you leave it to cook for?
All of this just comes together in like 15 minutes.
15 minutes. You see, it's a very quick and easy recipe as well. Something that you can try out in just a little bit, in just a short period of time. Also, it's something that you could also incorporate into your kids' meal. Yes, especially because garden eggs and scent leaves have, you know, so many nutrients that could also help to boost the immune system. And talking about scent leaves, I've never seen, you know, it actually just occurred to me that you're adding veggies into this recipe.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I said
giving it a twist, right?
This is coming with a twist. You know, I love the amazing flavor scent leaf adds to everything.
I agree with you.
So when you have this, it's taking it to a different level.
It does.
You know, it takes it from here to here.
I mean, it takes it from like 0 to 100. Yes. All right. So breakfast is getting ready. Garden eggs are cooking. Everything is just going to go on really nicely. We have to go on a quick break now, people. Stay with us.
Just be patient. Make sure you stick to the plan. You're closer than you think, people. Welcome to the second hour of an electrifying Thursday edition.
Yes, indeed. It only changes you when it challenges you. So we take up the challenge to make the second hour better than what we felt the first one was.
Yeah,
so, hey,
we try.
That's what we do here. How's the second hour going to be inside of the kitchen?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be quite interesting because, I mean, finally our garden eggs are cooking. Yeah, and I see that Chef Ken is already chopping up our scent leaf. That scent leaf is going to... what it's going to do to this meal is going to be unbelievable. But you have to stick around to see and find out.
Oh, yeah? By the way, Chef Ken has a secret that she hasn't told anybody. Chef Ken, I don't know if I should tell them already what we're going to be doing.
What? Look at the camera.
Vroom, vroom.
Look at what?
Vroom, vroom.
No.
Oh, she's a biker.
No way.
Are you a biker?
I want to be a biker.
There you go. One more to the class.
No. Don't do it.
You're welcome,
Please do it.
Go ahead.
Yes, indeed. In any case, my name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titi the Dynamite Oyinson.
Yes, indeed. Now, we have the pleasure of doing the second hour here, so do stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Remember, you can stream the show live from our YouTube channel, Facebook channel. That's at TVC Entertainment. Sorry, I got it all wrong. At TVC Connect. And then, of course, you can download the app and make sure that you watch us live from anywhere that you might be going on iOS or on Google Play Store.
Our website is tvcentertainment.tv. We also stream live right there. But we're also on TikTok right now.
Yes.
And we are TikToking. Those are great videos there. and I have been, strutting our stuff.
That was the very first post. All right.
Welcome back, people. You're on to Wake Up Nigeria. And yes, it is time for our book charts. Yes. And today we are going to be reviewing the book Motherhood, A Calling of a Lifetime. It's a book that's focused and written by Omolara Oshunkojo. We have the author here, and this is basically a loving note to mothers, especially first-time mothers, and then, how to prepare for their maternal journey. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. So let's dive right into it. You actually highlighted lots of things in this book. Yeah. But first of all, expatiate more on this journey to motherhood. This, that 9 months period where, this woman is waiting to birth, her baby. What should they expect?
Actually, it's a lifetime calling, and I call it a ministry. Okay. Why? Because it's not just having babies like a baby machine.
Yeah.
It's making sure that you train them in the way they will go. Not only that, preparing the children for the road, not preparing the road for the children.
Interesting. Now, I see here that you also talked about the role of the father during pregnancy, but which is very important because a lot of men do not understand what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. So please, take us through that.
Thank you very much. But recently, I found out that crop of fathers, they are more
responsible now.
More in because they find out in the past, when they were growing up, they were so used to their mother and leave the father alone.
Yes.
And they don't want to fall into that type of crop of fathers. Now, because I've seen some of my in-laws, you see them looking after the children, even taking that, making sure they take their bath at the right time for school to be ready, and so on and so forth. And all fathers must know that taking part in the upbringing of these children will give them a good bond with their children later in life.
Future, yeah.
Instead of taking mothers to US, London, they will remember the father too that did a lot. And some of them are really trying. They are doing a lot. They have to do it. Why? Because, you see, in Yoruba land, they say anybody that is so close to the child usually bond with them. And the father too must be close to their children so that they will see what the mothers are enjoying later in life. Because, you see, in life, children, they depend on the parents. But later on, they have their independence. And later on, like the age of 70, 80, 90, parents too now depend upon the children. And that's why they have to do very good work to bring them up.
They have to get involved. It's very important. Yes. There was something here that you talked about, going back to work. That is, after the 3 months of being with the baby, after maternity leave, the woman has to get back to work. And there's usually that guilt every mother feels about leaving their babies, because they're still weaning them at that period. There's that certain guilt, and you highlighted it here in this book. Would you like to expatiate more on it?
Sure. First of all, I just want you to know that, I think Lagos State is trying to put more months, like 6 months, which is good. In England, it's 1 year, so that you have the time to bring up the toddler, the baby, properly, because children, they are easily affected with whatever is not right. Every area of. So I think for mothers who are very strong, they can start their maternity leave when they're about to put to bed. But not all women are strong like that. I'm using my own experience until when I get to bed, I put to bed, that's when I will write. Because I was expecting to use that 3 months judiciously with the child. But we are not giving birth, when we are talking about strength. And so after you have spent 3 months, but before the expiration of 3 months, the mother should be able to go around and see for herself, not what people are telling them, that place is good, that place is good, because
do your own check.
Do your own,
and
find out, and use the time to watch how they do it, what they are doing. Is it all right? Is it okay? With it? Are you okay with it? Are they ready to take your child? About 6:30, you are going to work. Are they ready to look after them until you come back from work? Like people work in the bank. You don't come back early like that.
I agree with you.
And the environment.
Yes, very important.
Very, very important.
Quickly here, let's dive into the child's development, which is very key. There's the emotional, there's the physical, and there's also the mental development. You want to touch base on that quickly?
The mother should, in fact, as soon as you ask me whether the child can hear, you try it. Try. As soon as you are pregnant, you can talk to, talking to the child in your stomach, you are developing too. You may not take it, science has not really told us that today here, but you try it. By trying it, it will help you to develop when the child is actually out. Like in those days when I wanted to go out and say, baby, I have to go out now. I hope there's no problem. Just be calm. You may not believe it.
But speaking to your child is very important.
It's
here
very, very
because it
important.
also helps their cognitive
then the development, it depends on you as a mother. Because children see, children do. What they see, you do.
True.
That's what
they'll do.
They do. Like somebody was on the train and he saw the child reading book. You know, these days, people don't read book. It's this internet.
On a phone, yeah.
And the man who was sitting near them saw the mother too reading. And he said, now I understand.
Oh, nice.
So it's very important for the parents, both father and mother. Though we are talking about motherhood, but there's no motherhood without the
father. True.
So they should, they should agree on how to treat their children,
to train up
the child the way they want, the way they will be able to, the child will be able to face reality and surmount all the challenges and go through it and come out fine.
All right.
Development has to do with.
Yeah, we have to quickly wrap this up. But before we go, I just quickly need to know who is responsible for teaching the child sex education, the father or the mother?
God.
No,
I said good. It's a good question.
Yes, so let's just, the father or the mother, let's just quickly, I just need a quick answer.
It depends on the sex of the child.
Okay.
Like if it's a girl,
okay.
About menstruation, about this,
but
for the boy, about when he gets up in the morning and the thing is, there are certain things that the mother can do and the father can do, so depending on the sex.
Okay, depending on sex, both people have a role to play. Thank you so much, Mrs. Omolara, for this. This is quite an interesting read. I feel like this should be recommended to every first-time mother and mothers, even during their, antenatals. This should be given to them because it's important that they go through this. Thank you so much once again for being here.
Today, we have a very interesting person here with us, an art display. As you can see, it's, well, really big kinds of displays that we have on the show. Now, today, we have been joined by someone who's very, very special. We're having a mini art exhibition here with Matosan Nelson, an artist of immense talent who draws inspiration from the society and what he wishes to change in it. You are welcome here. Can I call you Tosan, or do I still have to go Matosan?
No, Matosan.
Matosan.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the meaning? Where are you from?
I'm from Delta.
Delta State, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The meaning of name is favor.
Favor.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a very interesting kind of artist, because if I was looking at you, I thought you were a rapper.
Yeah, I'm also a musician.
Oh, you're also a musician?
Yeah, I won the Hennessy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Wow, you are multi-talented then. Your art it knows no boundaries. That's fantastic. You do look through. All right, so let's talk about your art. I mean, how would you describe your kind of art, what you do, how you paint? What inspires it?
Basically, what inspires my art is how I grew up. You know, I draw inspiration from my everyday life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you are into, well, some people I know, some of the greatest artists I know, a friend of mine is actually an artist. He has this form of art that's quite similar to yours. He has a thing for the human physiognomy, the human face. He draws faces in different expressions that make you, I don't know, would you say yours is that way as well? Do you try to tell a story from people's expressions as well?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, I do. I mean, I paint from my head, so like, if I look at somebody's face, I just try to replicate it and, you know, make it my own style.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to dive already into one of your art forms here, and we've got one just by me here. It's a very interesting one of this lady with beaded African woman. Tell us what it's called and what it's about.
Yeah, it's the beauty of culture.
Beauty of culture.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful, in fact. But does this person have a name exactly? Was it drawn from somebody, a real person?
No,
maybe
it was drawn from my imagination.
Your imagination. There's nobody with those facial features.
No, there's nobody. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. And how long would it take you to put something like that together?
2 hours.
No.
for real.
Get out of town.
I'm serious.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're joking.
I'm serious.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Because that looks like an elaborate piece of work there. 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Now, very interesting as well. I'm going to lift this one up because I think it needs to be enjoyed in its full glory. I don't know who this is, but there's something very ethereal about it. Yeah. Is he a saint of any sort? What exactly is he, and what kind of painting is this?
Okay, this was inspired by my granddad before he died. He told me a story about the war he faced. He got to fight different kind of things. So, you know, I just got inspired by the whole. He told me a story about a man that got shot and died, one of his friends. So this is just to, you know, acknowledge that.
I see that there's a halo on top of his head there. This is not painting as such. This is a scapula, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And that's oil on canvas.
Yeah.
Very interesting there. His eyes are so deep and they're actually quite real when you look at that. If I was going to take this home, how much would it cost me, if I may ask?
400.
Whoa, dude, really?
Yeah, for real.
That is a lot, but then that's a lot of work going into that one. Yeah. Interesting. We've got one more by your side there. I'm hoping that the cameras can catch it so we can see it exactly. Talk us through that one before we come to the one in the middle.
I have 3 of them, three men. Okay. I call them the veteran collection.
Veteran collection.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they mean the same thing.
Included, or are you talking about this
and
one?
this one.
This one here.
One, this one, yeah.
All right, I'm going to lift that one as well. Now, that reminds me of the writer, actually, in a very funny way. The first time I saw it, I thought it was Chinua Achebe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Are you telling me that, I know he doesn't smoke, but are you telling me that you didn't draw inspiration from him?
No.
I'm sure a lot of people agree with me as well. I'm very, very sure. If you take a look at this real quick, everybody. Tell me what you think about that one. It does look like Chinua Achebe now, doesn't it? If you ask me. In a very funny way. But your art is very, very real. I can see that the strokes are very deliberate, the facial features and everything. This would take you how long to put together?
This one took 4 hours.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Wow. It's very interesting. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay. So in the beginning, we talked about you using your art to tell a story or to try and change things or to try and pass an expression. For each of these, what were you trying to pass across? What information or what story were you trying to tell? What were you trying to change in all of that?
Yeah, so like I said, my grandpa told me a story. So this is just to, you know, honor the heroes who fought for our country and everything, who fought for good, the people they loved. So yeah.
Okay, and you didn't tell us the name of that guy.
That guy. No, I've not.
You've not named it yet. Okay. Well, very interesting. So your expressions are in scapular, paint, and all of that. You are not restricted to one form or any. But which one would you say you are best at?
Oil color, knife.
Color.
Yeah.
Okay. And look at that one on our screen right now. That is another beautiful one there.
Yeah.
And you have a thing for facial. I mean, the face, the human face. Why the human face?
Because it shows expression. With the face, you know when someone is sad, when someone is happy. So I prefer doing faces.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, what is this one we're looking at right now? It's abstract.
Yeah, that's abstract.
Okay.
That's an explosion.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Right. Oh, beautiful. You have such beautiful forms of expressions here, and I really appreciate them. And it's not restricted to your canvas. It also shows on you as well as an artist, which is very, very interesting. I hope that we get to have you here again. But is there anywhere we can find your art so we can actually come witness it in person?
Yeah, I'm planning an exhibition at the end of this year, so hopefully.
What's it going to be called?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet? Okay. Maybe that's just it. I don't know yet exhibition.
Wow, that's crazy. That would be good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Hey, Matosan, it's great having you here.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
Yeah, and finally, we have on the couch for an interesting conversation, the amazing Tosin Ajibade. She's the founder of leading lifestyle and entertainment website, OloriSuperGirl.com.
Yes, indeed, people. Now, she's popularly known as OloriSuperGirl or OSG. And, hey, you're here with us. Finally got you here.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Good to have you here. I know the first time I'm meeting you, but then we were talking about wealth. Now we want to talk about OSG herself.
Okay, then.
You're welcome. So which is it, OSG today or Tosin?
Both.
Right. It's very interesting how you came up. I mean, you are contemporary. You are actually competition for many of these big blogs. I call them blogs. And you also have your own website and everything. But something very, very interesting that I've always wanted to ask you people is on the aspect or issue of controversies. I'm going to go right into it because we don't have too much time.
Okay, then.
Now, blogs such as yours are known to help these controversies actually trend. It's a good thing for some people, maybe sometimes it's not. But what is the formula that makes them, and what exactly are they used for? What kind of a tool are they? And do you encourage them?
It's okay.
I want to get in there.
All right, so for some of the controversies, of course, some are premeditated.
Okay.
Some are planned, and some just happen.
Okay.
So, you know, I would say 5-6 years ago, you would see, blogs, you know, publish exclusives.
Yeah.
But now, this celebrity are the ones putting out their stories out there.
Okay.
You know, so then you get it from their Snapchat or you get it from their Insta stories. But some of them, like I said, are premeditated, while some just happen. And while they happen, what you need is follow-up. Okay, what's happening? What's this person's response? What did this person say? How did it happen? And all of that. So, and until it lasts and then it dies and everybody moves on, you know, the way it is. So, like the question asked about controversy, it's either planned or as a
Do you see it as a good tool? Do you see it as a tool?
It's actually a
way?
good tool because, for instance, now we all know Bobrisky is trending. That's his own beat.
Yeah.
You know, controversy. That's his beat. Total Decay.
Yes.
Controversy. You see,
they have their strategies.
Exactly. So they know what works for them. And they're not even shy about it. They are not running away from it like, oh, I don't want to be attached to. They know this works for them. This brings them money. This brings them fame.
And they're not ashamed of it.
This brings them everything they need to stay relevant. Remember, top of mind. Remember, you need to also stay relevant. Remember, you also need to trend. Even when you don't like it, and even when you like it, you still need your name to be talked about. So
where does the balance of actual journalism come in? And where is the fine line between blogging and being a journalist come in?
Okay, so for blogging and journalism, I would say blogging is just speaking it.
Okay. Yeah.
Journalism is like, okay, can I speak to this person? Oh, at the time of our reports, we didn't get a response from XYZ.
Yes.
So there's actually a fine line between both.
But you do both.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, for the blogging bit, you get pieces from either from friends or family. Like if you want to get a story, for instance, look at the closest person to the person you're trying to reach out to, or even just in case the person's social media page is private, you always also have to think of, okay, who is closest to this person? The family, the mom or the dad or the sister or the cousin. You know, like weeks ago, something happened, nobody asked questions, and the next day we just woke up and we saw stories. This is what happened, this is what happened, and the next thing, family in-laws were the ones, you know, foiling the story. Then social media in-laws entered the story.
Wow.
Nobody talked about the other party didn't talk about it until he released the song. And then he later now talked about that people should just stay away from the case between him and his family. So now looking at it now, nobody asked the other party questions. They only came on social media to give us the gist. And while we have the gist, your in-laws
fueling the gist.
Fueling the gist. Even creating videos. So, you know, so all of these things, you know, happen.
How many times have you gotten into trouble? How many times has anybody threatened you?
Oh my God.
How many times has somebody walked up to you and like, you?
No way.
Has it ever happened?
I don't think so.
It hasn't?
And so it's not like I try to play safe or I don't like to be, you know, there. But it's just that, you know, there are times, okay, I don't know how to explain it, but I've never had issues like that.
Okay.
I think the list that I've had is maybe a mail sent to me from maybe either a picture not going well with the story, and these mistakes usually happen, you know, from my team when they don't do their own proper investigation. So when we go back internally, we then have to.
I just wanted to say something about OSG or OloriSuperGirl. It's a very safe blog.
Yes.
It's not as, while it's very authentic and everything, it's not as, what's the word I'm looking for now that's going to be toxic?
No, it's not.
It's not toxic in any way, and I really appreciate that.
Yes, it is, because honestly, the social media space, it's okay. So like, it's garbage in, garbage out. What you see is what you get. So already you have different people, you know, coming online doing all sorts of things. You only control what you put out there. You can't control what you see. And a lot of people who are out there would want their stories to tell.
let's start with that. There are a lot of stories to tell. Or who made this plant, or who wrote this book. You know, there are a lot of stories to tell. So why don't we focus on that rather than, because the thing is that controversy stories, you have to wait.
Yeah.
Like I said, these days, we don't get exclusive anymore. Celebrities that are now posting their stuff. Like, nobody is waiting for anybody to, you know, get an exclusive and all. So it's not like what it was before. Years ago, you always definitely get documents, you get, you know, everything. Facts. But now you're waiting for someone's story or someone's Snapchat or something like that. So I would rather focus on positivity, infotainment, edutainment, you know, entertainment, inclusive, you know, things that people can get and, you know.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the lifespan of a story.
Okay.
So let's talk about controversial stories now. Sometimes people feel like the whole world is coming to an end because a particular story has dropped. But from your experience, what is the average lifetime of a controversial story, whether it was instigated or it actually happened?
Give or take max 72 hours.
72 hours.
2
hours. 3 days.
Depending on the feedback. Like I said, if the other party responds, then there's something to, like I said, it's follow-up. You can't just sit down now and create a story or you want to be popular and all, and then nobody's giving it to you back. It has to be back to back, like, you know. So it depends on how long it stretches. You know, if one party decides to stop, then it stops. But if they decide to continue, then so the longer it gets longer. So I would say max 48 hours, 72 hours.
So you're in that business of helping stories either to trend or actually to keep them alive for those 72 hours.
Yeah.
Now, to be very, very specific now, and I'm going to be really deliberate about this, what role would you say that you play in certain issues where people's well-being are concerned? And let me use one instance, Two-Face and his wife, for instance. How do you, what are the emotional boundaries for you when you see that a story is going like, maybe I should step back or maybe I should press on?
Thank you very much for that question. That's a very, very good question.
I know, thank you.
Yes. You know, when that story broke out, that was the instance I was giving. I didn't want to mention it. But now that you mentioned it, it's fine. That was the instance I was giving. Now look at it. There are 2 kids. That's Annie's children are on social media. They are still minors. Kids. Not even teenagers. They are under 18. Will I say still like under 18? Yeah. One is on TikTok, the others, I mean, both of them are on Instagram, you know. And that same period when this story was out, the first daughter was on TikTok, you know, telling someone, you know, abusing someone who doesn't know how to speak good English. It was happening at the same time both parents were having issues on social media. Their in-laws were coming online saying all sorts of things. Social media in-laws were also adding fuel to the fire. Now, in that case, it is not even good for their children because they are also on social media. Now, they say the internet never forgets, remember? But now they are already on social media. So imagine all of that happening. I told my team, whatever it is that is happening between Annie and Two-Face, please do not involve the children. Do not write anything. Don't write any story about Isabella talking about someone who doesn't know how to speak good English. I told my team to stay off it because it doesn't make any sense. They are kids. Let us see them as kids. Let them be kids. Let them do whatever they want to do on their social media. Don't go on their page on TikTok or IG to take stories or reactions or anything to add to your story. It doesn't make any sense. Because at the end of the day, right now, it seems like it's good, but in the next 2-3 years, it's very, very bad.
A sense of moral obligation is
so
very,
that moral
very
obligation, though, for people's personal relationships, there still has to be a fine line. So, for instance, the information that was put out there, I'm feeling your captioning has a lot to do with how long or how far a story goes. So how do you
deep it cuts.
How do you make sure you're
like I said, it depends on how the story is. It's not something like because it's
also
cooler.
Business for you. So you really need
business
that
because the thing is
to...
that so in this business they call it clickbait. You know, on website they will tell you something else. You see one headline, you click on the story, it's nothing. You know, and on social media it's the captioning that attracts people. But at the end of the day, because your previous question actually still sums on top with this one, because of the children involved, the other children involved, the other children involved. So it's not just the 2 of them; it's actually the 7 of them in total.
There's a lot of next generation.
Exactly, and in the next 10 years, there'll be the next generation, you know, and all of that. So it will affect them. It doesn't make any sense, honestly. So at that point, we just stayed off of it. You know, the children, we didn't even mention it, but I told my team members not to even write any story about them.
You have a very arduous task because you're navigating so many things. You're navigating the kids, you're navigating your moral obligation, you're navigating people's mental state.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which brings me to ask what your opinion is or thought is on what's his name, Saga versus Nini.
Oh my God!
And his mental state currently, because people are beginning to question the methods of Big Brother.
Yeah.
At this point,
But she's back in the house, and
she's back in it.
Snuck back.
It seemed like it was
in the house.
It seemed like his mental status was exploited at the time. What do you think?
I'm Pere, the FBI.
I'm actually exhausted because I was up all night waiting to see Nini back into the house.
Wow, what you have to do.
So when Nini left the house, we captured that.
Yeah.
That's it. The story is about follow-up, honestly. So we have to follow up because, of course, it's the stories, the trending news and all. But looking at the fact that it's clearly a prank, and Nini actually followed the information, the instructions, Biggie laid. But the reaction Saga actually gave, it's just from him because he's actually not in love, but obsessed.
Obsessed.
With Nini. Because the thing is now is Oxygen Nini. That's what they are. Like, the oxygen is not here. So Oxygen Nini. And he has been called all sorts of names, create memes, different memes
I got a couple for
all
him
around
too,
it. Then he cried yesterday in the garden.
Yes.
It was raining and then he was crying.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, is it just because of one person? At least wait. He even had to sleep in front of the diary room.
Yeah.
Angel and Pere were with him. And I like the fact that I like the relationship between Pere and Saga. So Pere stood by him all day. But I like something about Pere. Pere is a smart guy.
Yeah.
He knew someone was upstairs, but he didn't know where exactly. And you remember, it's just Cross and Liquorous that are, that have access to the head of house room.
Yeah.
So they can't go upstairs, and all of that. But he knew, he could smell that there was someone upstairs.
Listen, real quick.
Yeah, so because when she came back, when she snuck in and then she was denying the fact that she has been on the bed all day, he said, no, I saw her with my eyes when she walked into the house.
Wow.
You know what I'm thinking, yeah? While we walk into the kitchen, this is what I'm going to propose to you and the rest of our staff here. We have something called reality check.
Okay.
And we're going to have you on reality check. We are going to love you because your take is just amazing. I mean,
All right.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you so
OloriSuperGirl.
Yes.
Yeah, so good to have you. Please talk about our food on your blog.
Nice one.
This is Chef Ken,
Hi.
and then this morning she's made for you rice and garden egg sauce.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nice.
So please quickly have a taste. Let us know what you think. Please rate it well.
Awesome. I will. The way she said rate it well.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not, but please enjoy.
Okay, so this is hot.
Yeah.
Really
You don't like hot food?
Exactly.
Oh, Bele.
Okay, so and this is TV. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus Lord.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
All right.
Is that okay? What do you think? Is it nice, good, love it?
I like the sauce.
Okay.
The pepper inside. The leaves. What type of leaves?
Scent leaf.
Exactly.
You love it?
This is good.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I love pepper though. So
All
this is
right.
Grand.
It's so good to have you here in our kitchen trying out our food.
Thank you.
So guys, look out for
Find
OloriSuperGirl's
her on Instagram, find
or
her on
review
website,
on our food
OloriSuperGirl.com.
today on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, indeed. I already have my fork out, so I can't wait. But let's take Titi's goodbyes
Titi,
real quick,
on the
then we
couch
can dig
quickly.
into this.
Tomorrow is Friday, meaning it's game day, but it's also our cultural day.
Diversity. Yes, please go ahead.
Cultural Diversity Day at TVC, so that's going to be fun.
Oh
Make sure
yes,
you
it
tune
is
to
going to
TVC
be
tomorrow.
fun. Please come and watch us make of ourselves in our cultural outfits.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait for it because I'm gonna be looking good tomorrow.
Thank you, OloriSuperGirl. Thank you, Chef Ken, and thank you to all our guests. You all have been amazing today. Mazino?
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.